Are you a visual learner? Is the leg section of this pattern confusing you? No worries, let's go! I need a catchphrase. Let's hook. No.
Okay, the last row of the body should have left you with 27 stitches going around. And now we're up to the part for doing the first leg. Just for some clarity, I made this video, so you're gonna flatten the body. You want the eyes centered with the body, so you don't wanna, flatten it like this. You wanna make sure that the body is lined up evenly with the middle of the eyes, like that. And then, looking at it like this, you're gonna count 6 stitches from the side here and come in 6, and that's where you're gonna want to reattach your yarn. So we've got a stitch here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so that is the 6th stitch in from the left, but because I just don't like to have to cut my yarn, reattach it, I like to be as seamless as possible and just have less steps. So you're more than welcome to do that option. What I do is I just mark that stitch, and I can simply just pick up where I left off, and I'm going to do slip stitches all the way until I get to that stitch. Then I take that out and do my last slip stitch where I marked it. I'm purposely keeping my stitches loose because we're going to need to work. If you do the slip stitch option, you're going to need to be able to work into these later. So a lot of times a slip stitch tends to be pretty tight naturally, so just kind of do them looser than you normally would. But now I'm at the starting point that I wanted to be at for the leg. Okay, so the next step says to chain 1. So chain 1. And then you're going to start in the same stitch that you did the chain 1 by doing 12 single crochets all around. So I did my chain 1 in here. I'm going to go in the same stitch and do a single crochet. So that's the first single crochet of the leg, and go all the way around with 12 of them. Okay, so the next step is to, we're going to close up the leg so it makes a circle, and it says to slip stitch into the first single crochet that you just did. So we just did 12 here, and we're going to go back into the first one. You should have a stitch marker in this stitch. I just counted 12 back. You can do that too, so just reverse count 12 if you took your stitch marker out, and then you're gonna slip stitch that shut. Oh, one thing, you want to make sure your working yarn is not in the way, so you want to have the yarn this way so you can slip stitch that together. So again, we're in the first of the 12, and then we're going to grab that and pull that through. So now we made a little hole for the leg. Okay, so there's the front. We're working it this way, and we've got the leg hole. So for row 2, you're just going to continue and do 12 single crochet. And for your last single crochet, you want to go into the slip stitch here that you did. Okay, so you should have 12 for row 2 of the leg, and then just continue going around and around till you get to the end of the leg. At this point in the leg, this is right after doing row 6, and in the pattern I suggest to add some polyfill into the leg because this is getting pretty small, and it's going to be hard to be able to get, polyfill all the way down into here. So even though we didn't fill the body yet, you can at this point, it really doesn't matter. But I just like to try and get as much as I can into the leg while there's still an opening at the other end. Because again, once it's closed, it's just really kind of hard to get in there. Okay, so now the leg is mostly filled in. And then you can go ahead and do the last row of the first leg, and then I'll show you the next part on starting the second leg. Alright, so now leg 1 is completely done. It's closed. We stuffed the body. And now we want to start leg 2. The pattern says facing the front of the doll, so here's her face. We're going to reattach our yarn to do the second leg. It says to skip 2 stitches, okay? And then reattach. So if you look here, this stitch has been used. There's something worked into it already. So that one is already taken. Skip 1, skip 2. And here's where we reattach our yarn. Okay? Okay, we are reattached. We just pulled up a loop after skipping the 2, and just like the first leg, we're gonna start with a chain 1, and I always just crochet over my tail end, so I always lay it here, so that's one less thing I have to weave in later. Okay, so we pulled up a loop, we're gonna chain 1, starting in the same stitch as a chain 1, do 12 single crochets all around, and that's exactly what we did in the first leg. We're gonna do the that was 1, we're gonna do 12 all together, so 11 more. Okay, this is what it looks like after doing 12 single crochet for the second leg. 1 stitch left before getting to where the next leg starts. This is the only empty one. This one was used for our chain 1 at the beginning, as there's already something worked into it. Okay, so that's what should be left. And then just like the first leg, you know, you're going to remove the stitch marker, slip stitch these 2 together like that, and continue with the pattern. I hope that cleared up this part of the pattern. I know it's a little bit tricky for all you visual learners. That should have cleared it up. And thank you for purchasing my pattern, and if you share them on any pictures on social media, please tag me. I love seeing all the different color combinations you guys do of my designs. Thanks for watching.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?